I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a very special topic. I rise today, Mr. Speaker, because I am a liberated, unbought, unbossed Democrat. I not only speak truth to power, I speak truth about power. You speak truth to power by simply saying, power, there's a problem. Let's solve it. Great thing to do. But when you speak truth about power, you say, power, there's a problem, and you're it. So today I'm going to speak truth about power. I'm going to do so because I will not allow the power that I just speak about to intimidate me. I insist on having the full benefit of my free speech rights, and I will take advantage of them. And if it should cost me, I will pay the price. But I plan to speak truth, not only to power, but also speak truth about power. Today, I am going to embrace the topic that has caused a good deal of consternation in this Congress, a topic that many people would say it would be injudicious to embrace because of the consequences. But there comes a time when you have to take a stand. Consequences are things that have to be considered. But when it comes to my country, and when it comes to the American consumer, I'm willing to take those consequences on. I'm willing to do what I believe to be not only the right thing, but the righteous thing. So today, I will embrace the topic, why the crypto industry is spending mega millions of dollars to control Congress. Why is the crypto industry spending mega millions of dollars to control Congress? Not to have debates in Congress, not to allow the American people to hear all sides of issues, but to control Congress to the extent that but one side is going to be presented. So today I stand and I speak for all of those people who agree with me. I don't speak for people associated with any party. I don't speak with people associated with any caucus. I speak for everybody that agrees with me, and there are a good many. Not all will say what I say, but they agree with me. And by the way, I say what I say, and I don't expect others to say what I say, because I think I'm uniquely qualified to say what I say. I sit on the Financial Services Committee. I have chaired the subcommittee on oversight and investigations for financial services. And I'm proud to say that I've lived under the leadership of the Honorable Barney Frank and the Honorable Maxine Waters. And I'm proud to say that at some point, I believe that we will have the leadership on that committee again. And this is why the crypto industry is so concerned about members who might take the position that I take. So the topic again, why the crypto industry is spending mega millions of dollars to control Congress. Well, let's start with what is actually happening right now in Congress. The Congress is the House and the Senate. We are in the House of Representatives, but it's the House and the Senate. The Senate has passed a piece of legislation that deals with housing. It is styled the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. And I have a section-by-section breakdown. I'm not going to go through every section, but I can tell you that there is language in here that, if implemented, will be of great benefit to people in the area of housing, people who are in need of housing, people who are in need of a place to call home. There's language in here that I support. But I also want you to know that in this bill that deals with housing, the crypto industry decided that something was germane that I totally, absolutely, and completely disagree with. The crypto industry decided that over near the very end of the bill, on the last page of the document that I have, after having topics style rental assistance demonstration program, increasing housing in opportunity zones, Whole Home Repairs Act, and many other things that are beneficial. The crypto industry, this is on the very last page of the summary that I have. The crypto industry found reason to believe that what I'm about to articulate is germane. I don't think it's germane, but it's in the bill. The crypto industry has included language in section 1001, section 1001, styled central bank digital currency. Crypto industry, central bank legislation, and a housing bill. And here's what it would do. This section pauses the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency. Pauses for approximately 5 years. Pauses. Well, that pause is not good enough for some people. There are some people who want a permanent ban on a central bank issuing a digital currency. Now, I have to give some edification to many people who are listening. Let's start with this. Right now, if you desire to, you can transfer with crypto dollars, cryptocurrency, I should say, money from one person to another without it going through any other entity or going to any other person. One person to another without going to any other person.
No paper trail.
That kind of transference is beneficial in many ways to many people. Some people who would do dastardly deeds are indeed enthralled with this methodology. They're enthralled with it because when they can transfer from one person to another, if they want to transfer funds to someone engaging in some sort of illicit activity, they can make that transfer and remain anonymous. There is something called pseudo-anonymous. They are pseudo-anonymous. They have pseudo-anonymous positions that allow them to be secreted within the transaction. It's called pseudonymity. They have pseudonymity. Well, this pseudonymity allows people to do dastardly things and not be recognized for their dastardly deeds. It makes it very difficult to catch them. For example, someone who wants to send money to a terrorist organization, you can do this anonymously. You have pseudonymity. Also, you might recall some time ago, not so long ago, there was a group of people, maybe one person, I'm not sure, who wanted to extort money from a very notable family. And they wanted that money to be transferred in crypto dollars, crypto fashion, digital currency.
What's up, Eduardo?
They wanted it to be transferred digitally because they knew that it would prevent them from being caught. Now, maybe they would be caught. Maybe there's some super means of spying and finding out. But their chances of being caught were very slim if they could have the money transferred.
You gotta listen first before calling another person dummy.
And as a result,
thank you for that like. I really appreciate it.
Ill-gotten gains go off into the world unknown to people as the criminals they're
making it to where you cannot use your driver's license, you cannot use your ID, you have to go home and get your fucking birth certificate.
From one person
Dummy.
to another. Now, it would be against the law to do this, but it would also be up to the law to find some means by which you can prevent this, or you can at least arrest the people who do this. But with this pseudonymity, they have the ability to do this and not be caught. If they are caught, it would be very
We're
difficult
not even talking about fucking
the actual act of catching them after they committed the crime. So extortion is one means by which this kind of direct transfer can be used. But there's another means. And this means is something that applies to people who have large sums of money but who don't want to pay taxes. Some things bear repeating. There are people who have large sums of money who do not want to pay their fair share of taxes. With this direct ability to transfer dollars from one person to another, transfer them digitally, transfer them at a later point into a currency that's tangible, this ability to do this also opens the door for them to not only avoid taxes, which is legal, but to evade taxes, which is illegal. It is lawful to avoid, illegal to evade. Many people in this country, I know it's a surprise to some people to know that there are some people who would evade taxes. But my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, there are people in this country who, if given the opportunity to pay zero taxes, they pay zero taxes.
Yes, sir.
Notwithstanding the fact that they have large sums of money. Well, we believe, or I believe, that taxation is something that is
There's got to be like a certain number that you hit when you see it in your bank account or something to just, I mean, you're not,
if I want the infrastructure
you're taught, yeah, but like you're not born a piece of shit. There's got to be like a certain number they hit in their bank account and they're like, holy shit, I can be a piece of shit. I can fucking treat people like shit. I don't have to pay my taxes.
We need
There's got to be a fucking number that hits people and just changes them.
Sometimes we have to build the infrastructure with tax dollars to aid and abet people who are sick. Aid and abet might not be the best choice of words. Sometimes my diction is less than superb. Point is, we need tax dollars to do things to help people in this country that we have concluded are in need of help, and it's necessary to do so. That's what we do here in Congress. We pass legislation quite regularly to help people, and we decided that this is a good thing to do.
I like the way Al talks.
But you can't get the tax dollars from people who are
My boy Al.
evading because you don't know that they are actually in the business of evading until you can prove it. And you can't prove it if you can't catch them. And you can't catch them if they're making these direct transfers from one person to another, or one entity to another. They're anonymous.
Gary, where'd you go?
I'm not saying that all of my colleagues have this in mind when they say they want privacy. Privacy is a big issue. They're saying that the government ought not know that I'm moving my money from one place to another, that that's my personal business. Well, it is your personal business until you break the law. And then the question becomes, if you're positioned to break the law, how do we prevent it? And the way you prevent it is to have a third entity involved in this transaction, a third entity, and that entity, that third entity, can then have some means by which your anonymous position is known. If you go to the bank now and you want to withdraw funds, you can do so. It's your money. You can do so. But you can't withdraw it to send it to a terrorist organization. I think that's a pretty good thing. I don't want terrorists to be able to get money easily. In fact, I don't want them to get it at all. But if we make it easier for them to get it, this system will be utilized. Give you an example. I have it on good authority that the drug traffickers, there's a big issue in this country about drug trafficking. The drug traffickers, the people who are dealing with cross-border selling of guns, they use crypto methodologies. They use a crypto method to transfer the dollars involved. Well, we don't want them to be anonymous. We want to catch them. These are the people who are indirectly killing American citizens. So we want to capture them. We want to stop this. So they can transfer the guns, and once the guns are received, the money is transferred, and it's done from one person to another, and the government cannot seem to be able to find a way into that transaction such that the people who are committing the crime can be properly prosecuted. Pseudonymity. Unknown persons transferring large sums of money for unknown reasons. A third entity in this process that allows the money to get into it, digital dollars, we might call it a digital dollar, digital currency, gets into
digital bullshit.
This third entity, and the identity is exposed. We know that you're transferring this huge sum of money. And we know if it's okay for you to transfer, but we want to know who's getting it. That's what we can do with some sort of third entity that we can call a central digital bank. Or you can have it by any name. But the point is a third entity that gets in between the direct transfers of these huge sums of dollars.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Currently, without this, you can literally transfer unlimited amounts of money, and no one will know. It's illegal to do some of the things that are being done, but how do you deal with the illegality if you can't deal with
this is what your tax dollars working looks like.
In the illegal transactions. That's
you notice it's all empty.
So the crypto industry, they have decided that, well, here's
you pay your government to work 2-3 months out of the year.
We'll just take them out of Congress.
If that.
We'll just have a Congress that has one mindset, and that is an absolute ban on any kind of centrality associated with this movement of money. An absolute ban. Now, the bill that I've called to your attention, this bill just has a pause, as it is called in the bill, just has a pause for a period of time. Just a pause.
Sounds reasonable.
There are people in this house who are antithetical to a pause. They want permanency. They're willing to kill a housing bill because they can't have a permanent ban. They will kill a housing bill because they cannot get a permanent ban against some sort of centrality in the digital currency world. This legislation should not have the ban that it has in it. Pause, excuse me. Shouldn't have the pause that it has. Somebody said, okay, we're going to compromise. The art of compromise is how things get done. I appreciate it. And they made a compromise. But a temporary pause is not good enough. There has to be a permanent ban because they want the permanent ability to move money from one person, unlimited amounts, to another person with anonymity. Pseudonymity. Mm-hmm. Pseudonymity, because they assume an identity that is not necessarily a name that belongs to the person. They get another name of some sort. This shows you the length, the extent that the crypto industry is willing to go to have its way. Literally willing to kill a housing bill because they cannot have language in it that would prevent the transfers of funds from one person to another in this pseudo anonymous fashion, this pseudonymity, this means of avoiding and evading. Well, that's not all they seem to be interested in doing. Yes, I'm talking about the crypto industry. So call them up and tell them. Al Green is on the floor. He's doing it again, y'all. Yes. Here's what Al Green said that they got also. They also are eliminating, as best as they can, the notion of seniority meaning something. The notion of upward mobility in Congress being affixed to some extent with seniority. Seniority, being in a position for some time, understanding the rules of the road, understanding the bills that have already passed, having the institutional knowledge to bring forth when it is necessary to present the counter argument. Seniority, that's how you acquire this. You can't get it by being any place other than here, serving time here. Well, serving in Congress, serving time is not an appropriate way to say it. Being in Congress and serving in Congress. You have to be here. Well, they want to eliminate that. And if they eliminate this, then, my friends, money will rule. Money will be the methodology by which you can acquire chairmanships. And when money becomes the means by which you can acquire chairmanships, the Al Greens of the world will not be in Congress. Because we don't have the connection to the dollars, and because some of us refuse to take certain money. I don't take money from the crypto industry. They graded me out just recently, and I graded an F. I graded an F. When you get an F, that means that they don't like you. And that means that when they don't like you, they'll do whatever they can. It seems right now with
I got
the
your
law
back, Al.
To expel you, to evict you. My friends, we cannot allow money to have a greater influence on elections than it already has. If we destroy seniority, there are members of Congress who are here because of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and because of what happened at the Independence Bridge. They're not going to be here. If seniority is eliminated, a good many of us won't be here. A good many. Congress will then become the place that is influenced by and controlled by mega dollars. People will have to raise millions of dollars, not just 8 million, not just 5, not just 10. 20, 30, 40 million dollars could easily become the amount of money that one will have to raise to become a member of Congress. So it becomes more about money than about issues. Issues in general. There will be specific issues that will come to the floor, and they will be unopposed because the crypto industry and the persons of that ilk associated with the industry, they will have the money to own Congress. And at this point, you will literally have the best Congress money can buy. The best Congress that money can buy. And it depends on where the money is coming from as to which issues are going to be brought to this well, to this Congress, and voted on. There will be issues of great importance that will never get voted on because the mega millionaires won't allow it. They will control Congress. They already have an inordinate amount of influence. They will have an overwhelming amount of influence. They will be able to determine what issues are important in the Congress of the United States of America. Well, I stand in the way. I stand in the way now, and I will stand in the way as long as I'm in Congress. And they know this. And they know that the Al Greens of the world are the people that are not likely to support what they're doing. I do believe in compromise, so I haven't written off compromise legislation. But this notion of a permanent ban, I think we got to be very careful. additional reasons. We got to be careful because China does not ban centrality. Now, here you're mentioning China. China doesn't have our best interests at heart. Well, China has China's best interests at heart. And while we are pausing and banning, they're going to be moving forward with a digital currency. A digital currency that is backed by...
AKA this country. Most of this country has no fucking idea what's coming.
There is a war for currency supremacy in this country.
No idea what's coming.
There is a war to dethrone the American dollar.
Dipshit Donald Duck already almost completely destroyed the dollar.
The American dollar. And as such, we can borrow money at a lower cost. As such, we are able to impose these sanctions.
Oh, do we got a Florida person in the chat?
That we can impose.
Why is this guy out of job?
Because countries hold dollars in reserve.
Tell us why guy is out of job.
They believe that our treasuries, our dollars, are going to be there.
On my lives, you can't just spew bullshit and then run. You gotta prove yourself.
So if they hold it in reserve,
don't tell me Google. Don't tell me Fox Entertainment News.
There's another reason why they hold it. Because they know that we have the biggest guns and nobody's going to take anything from the United States of America. You're not going to take our currency. You're not going to destroy us from within because we can protect ourselves. So people value the American dollar. That's why there's this war for currency supremacy. If the yuan replaces the dollar or some other currency, then that means that that country will have lower interest rates when they borrow. It means that that country can then influence the dynamics associated with sanctions across the globe. That country will then displace the United States of America as the preeminent country.
Give a shit about your fucking election results.
With the ability.
He's standing right there, right now. That's what I care about.
With what I would call soft power. The soft power of the American dollar. It is an awesome power that we have.
Just like dipshit Donald Duck's not going to care about any goddamn election results.
Just so that they can make more money.
Dipshit Donald Duck and regime are going absolutely nowhere unless physically removed.
A billionaire wants to be a trillionaire. Too much is not enough. Well, have all you want. Just do it lawfully. Pay taxes on it. And I'll salute you. But this notion of doing things that will damage the American dollar, I'm going to defend it. I defend the dollar. I defend the American consumer. I defend the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Well, Al, why do you bring the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau into this statement? Well, here's why. Because my colleagues across the aisle are doing everything that they can to eliminate the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Mm-hmm.
The one entity that is designed to protect the consumer.
You and
that would
me.
be there to look into illicit transactions of dollars by way of cryptocurrency. The one entity they are willing to eviscerate, to decimate, eliminate. They are. Mr. Speaker, I do want to have closing comments. How much time do I have left?
1 minute.
One has 45 seconds.
45 seconds. In closing, I have been censured, but not cited.
Hell yeah.
In closing, I still say the solution is
I'll never forget that day. That was great. My boy Al Green right there.
Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back later.
Peace. January 3rd, 2025. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Green, is recognized for 60 minutes.